Hi, I'm Sam Fajardo, and today I'll be discussing my conclusions on how the European expansion negatively affected indigenous areas, and this will be based on my map that I created alongside my two group mates Trisha Lloyd and Jessica Arnaiz. So, the European expansion negatively affected indigenous areas in two main ways. Firstly, it affected indigenous areas through its impact on the environment, and secondly, it affected indigenous areas through its effect on the natives residing there. My group and I zeroed in on three places. First is North America, subsequently the continent of Africa, and lastly the Philippines. European expansion primarily impacted North America through the environment and health of the people. Europeans unknowingly brought diseases like smallpox over to North America, and therefore about 75% of the indigenous lives were claimed. Beavers also went extinct in areas like New York due to the growing popularity of beaver-trimmed hats. Now let's move on to the continent of Africa. As we all know, it was also due to the European expansion that the forced migration of African lives, also known as the Atlantic slave trade, occurred. Considering this, the continent suffered great losses. About 13 million people were shipped to the Americas, and might I add, in unsafe conditions, usually cramping numerous Africans beyond the capacity of a single ship. And finally, in the Philippines, Filipinos were treated as second-class citizens, and many were deprived of an education, the Spanish only making it available for Spanish people and Filipinos who were wealthy enough. They were also treated very violently. Whenever a Filipino would condemn the Spanish rule, they were punished severely and beyond the necessary amount. In hindsight, European insights and expertise have been prioritized by the Age of Exploration construct. The notion of the Age of Exploration does more harm than good, because it whitewashes history, giving what was really an age of colonization a more noble and academic look. During this time, Europeans may have expanded their knowledge of the world's flora, fauna, and topography, but they also did so at the expense of indigenous knowledge and value systems. We must never neglect the vital connection between knowledge and power, regardless of the orientations of new histories of global knowledge. The first quarter of history class has been thinking of what could have been. I feel as though if the Philippines had not been colonized before, many things would be different today and possibly better. Ultimately, I think I just believe that it's not okay to step on others to get ahead in life, like the Europeans did. They've disguised violence and colonization with the title of discovery. And although I'm very happy about all the things that they discovered that we now find useful, I can't also help but wish that the culture of my ancestors then was given time to flourish fully without the influence of the West. Sometimes I feel like the state of our country now would be better if that did happen. Nevertheless, I'm proud of the, although slightly whitewashed, still vibrant and rich culture of the Philippines.